about, like stuff just like randomly popping down. Look at this. It says PNP. So I'm actively driving right now, right? And I just had to show you guys that because I told you that so this is like something in my job. It's like something that they like use, an acronym that they use in my job. And there's a few of my coworkers who are watching this and finding out about Cyborg Erklankle. And I just had to like show you guys, like, do you see how this like falls down where, it just like randomly comes out like certain things that they're actively like doing with magic or actively like starting. I kept on seeing EHR, EMR, electronic health records, electronic medical records, because that's something that they were playing with too, causing drama with. Ooh, yeah, there's a few. I saw ECM yesterday. Here. Okay, cool. Let's just keep it pushing. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys that because I just think it's funny how that like it pops up and like just as I'm like, okay, well, moving on to the next thing, boom, something ends up like popping up that like implicates somebody or exposes what I've been talking about the whole entire time. Okay, but something is going on though, yeah, and something's like happening, and this is going to be going with that Department of Labor thing too, because oh look. Ooh. Yeah, and people at work playing games with official systems. Like there's something too that's coming up because of a lot of the complaints that a lot of us had made, and because of what people were doing. Here we go. And because of what people were doing, there was several departments that got pulled onto my channel in the last like few days. Yeah, look at this one. I told you they were playing with drugs, DEA. Yeah, I told you, didn't I tell you that they get on drugs at work. They steal drugs from work. Look at this one. BitLocker or, yeah. There was also something that we pulled up the other day. It has something to do with this like bit something. So a bit is like they like memory, like they have nibble, bits, bytes, pages. So I just wanted to show you guys that in regards to like just how this like pops down. Because one of the things that's also coming out is like tracking people's inventory, like using shared databases. Like, oh, we get access through Salesforce, et cetera, et cetera. So that's how they were going into like different like back ends to find out what drugs people were on, what clinic was giving them those drugs, trying to have them robbed or trying to like have their supply moved. Like, at the CMS center, like, oh, I'm supposed to be moving, these drugs to this. That's what's supposed to be happening. And then the clinic is like, somebody's like sitting there waiting all day outside, and then they take the order or they take the box, right? Like stuff like that. And then just because of like how they behave, people being investigated too, like your coworkers getting investigated, like, oh, at her other job she was like giving bad prescriptions, or at her other job she stole pills and it's on her license, right? There's a lot that's happening with some of your coworkers because they act like they're on drugs. And some of your coworkers, they want to go play in front of Cyborgia. They want to go play with them at work, or try to get in with them, or try to suck up to them or get close to them. And they were getting put in bad situations because they were getting their phones tapped by these people. They don't care about them. They're just using them as a pawn to play with you and to harass other people of color. Some of your coworkers got their phone tapped and they're involved in underground economies, things like that, and they brought that to their family and things like that. That's another thing that's coming up too. People trying to retaliate now, like you never know. Oh, look at this. RWX, Unix. Yeah, once again, you see, we talked about that in Unix, the RWX. Read, write, execute permissions. So now another thing is that these karmics didn't know who they were playing in front of. Like, oh, so that's why you're asking me certain questions, and oh, so that's why you're saying to refer to you and don't do this. It's because they were trying to use the karmic to do A, B, C, and D, and now some of these karmics want to take legal action. Some of these karmics want to be mad about, being used as a pawn, but they allowed themselves to be played, you know? So that's what they're getting right now. That's another thing that's coming up to the karmics that they were working with at work, getting caught up, and because they were being used, which is coming out right now with, you guys have heard some of the things that I was talking about. Look at this in the indigenous community. Look at this again. Yeah, and also like something with alcoholism at work, like acting like an alcoholic, or look at this. Ooh, I can't even make this up, you guys. Oh my God. Look, look, look at this. Again, with units, RXW, you see? And then look at this one right behind it though. EDX, another register. Do you see what I'm talking about? Okay, but now you guys see, like, okay, we see that something is happening here, and this is just like preparing us because we're gonna have a brand new internet, a brand new system. You know, just get prepared. We're gonna be able to do what we want. A new money system, new internet. The internet doesn't need all these harmful like devices. Router here, plug this in, plug that in, all these wires. You don't need all that, right? Yeah, something like that, right? So, um, ooh, right. So some of the karmics that you guys work with, they're also getting caught up really badly because of what they were doing. And some of these karmics, they're gonna need for you to vouch for them or speak for them, or they're gonna try to use like things that you said as evidence in the past, or they will try to use certain things that other people said in the past, or they will try to like, you know, throw other people under the bus. And, you know, oh, this person told me this, or, well, I just listened to what she was saying, or, you know, well, I just did what she was doing. And they're going to end up throwing each other under the bus and destroying each other, the karmic, you know? That's what always ends up happening. But I wanted to show you guys that live, live and in the flesh. So you know that I'm not here playing with you, and that these protocols are real, because a lot of people like are calling the police. Thank you. I got contacted by somebody major in tech over what you guys are doing. Yeah, somebody very major in tech contacted me, and a lot of people fell off too because of what people saw. Oh, okay. On my channel here. Look at this. I told you about the alcohol in the Spanish community. Yeah, that's gonna come up again, you guys. Where they were playing with switching people's alcohol or stealing people's farm to make alcohol. And I told you that Kevin Hart, ASAP Rocky, Diddy, a lot of these people, they got other people's alcohol. They took the alcohol and they're like, oh, we're gonna start businesses. And then Kevin Hart, they shot up his he had a commercial for his alcohol business, and they shot it up. And then, you know, Kevin Hart has a vegan burger business in LA. He closed all the locations because he got cut off for supply. And it's because of what happened with the virtual reality and these white families, and they don't want no parts. So for people, I just want to say shout out to the Spanish indigenous community. They have really come forth. I feel so loved and so protected. Thank you to my brothers who are out in the streets handling stuff. Thank you to my brothers with the lowriders. They've all come out in droves. Everywhere I go, like I get love from the locals, right? I get love from everybody. People watch me. Like when we start doing our coding tutorials, people go out in the street and they're doing sideshows. They're shooting. You guys have seen it, like, because they're letting people know, like, we saw what you guys did in our community and with our kids and with CPS to play with rituals and for coding powers. And we saw what you did with Daisy when she was trying to help us and uplift us and give us a new system. So people are going crazy, bonkers, you know? So like, I feel like I'm the people's champion, and I accept that. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that's like, you know, been holding it down and who's been like really solid in this whole fight, because so much has come out and so much has happened, and we're still in it, right? And we're still like holding on. You know, a few of our people have passed away. You know, a few of our people got set up. You know, another thing that I have to talk about too is in the workplace. Some of you guys don't know that karmics went to go play an IC3 at work, and their names are coming up in investigations. Like, oh, so that's what they were doing. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, I see. They were playing with IC3 at work, and it's come to their job now. Some karmics don't know because they were playing in IC3, they with other people or playing with CPS on other people. Their name has now come up in cases, So I just wanted to let you guys know that a lot of stuff is moving right now. People are getting vindicated and getting justice for what has gone on here. But the protocol runs. It's really just because we're uploading a new substance. We know how to code substances via chemistry, right? So copper is a substance. It has a chemical sequence. The internet, it's made from EMF and radio frequencies. We can code down a new binary like reality that will allow us to add a quantization to that existing substance or to those existing forces and get more out of them, which is what they call like tensor spaces. We just know how to do indigenous like physics and then get more out of copper, get more out of the computer, et cetera, et cetera. So I just showed you guys about this, and I know some of you guys are waiting about Department of Labor and what's going to end up happening next, a bunch of stuff. Yeah, and it's, whoa. Yeah, people want to play at work and do nonsense and misbehave. So, that's what happens when people are doing what they want to do. So, okay, well, it's very interesting. So, anyways, you guys, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. I know I'm going to see something, and I'm going to be back on here in like 10 minutes. All right, bye.